Well, good morning to you. And after the 7-beer production last night, I don't feel too bad. Hey, I might do that again sometime. Anyway, this video is brought to you by a bowl of cornflakes. And I thought I'd just take a look around the world and see how the Femons are faring in different countries. Now, I can only do countries I know about or been there. And you people out there might have different experiences and know a little bit more. Man, it's not going to be professional in any way. It's just going to be a little chat. Okay, so I think that we all agree that the Western world and a lot of European countries have been taken over by this third-wave feminism, and the Femons are acting out all over the place. And they're all empowered, and they don't seem to have any laws against them in any way. And they can pretty much do anything they like. And we can see that by the complete mess these countries are in. And of course the Femons aren't doing themselves any favor in these countries because they look like they're crazy idiots. And a lot of these Femons are walking around, of course, with everything hanging out all over the place. And they're going to places where there's children and everything, and some people don't like it and they say something about it. And of course the Femons don't like that at all, and they're completely unaware that this isn't a nightclub, it's a shopping mall. You see, many years ago, men could say something to Femons and tell them to stop doing that stupid thing, and the Femons would, because that's how the nature planned it to be. Now, we all know that Femons feed their children with their breast milk, but these new modern Femons want to be able to whip their breasts out anywhere they are and feed their children right there and then. The next thing that Femons want to do will be able to have a dump anywhere they want to have a dump. Of course, females don't poo, so I guess that can't happen. But this is how disgusting they have become. But men aren't allowed to say anything to a Femon anymore, otherwise they'd probably arrest him and throw him in jail for 200 years. So the Femons don't have any yardsticks, so they keep on going and going and going. And it's always disastrous results, isn't it? But let's take a look at Japan. Now Japan, I believe, has respect. The people have respect. They're taught respect when they're young. The Femons have respect. Unlike the Femons in the Western world, who don't have any respect at all. So I don't think the third-wave feminism has affected Japanese people's lives very much. Now, Thai women, oh yes please. No, Thai women are very feisty, and I found them to be actually more complex than any Western women or European women I've ever been with. But the Thai men in Thailand don't take no shit from their Femons, and I can see that it works very well most of the time. And of course it doesn't hurt that they're quite easy on the eye. China women, I would believe, would be very respectful too, but I'm not sure. I've never actually been to China. I was in Sweden a very long time ago, and I really do like the Swedish Femons. The kind of Nordic-looking ones, you know. But it's not really worth talking about Sweden, because I don't think there's any more Swedish people left in Sweden, is there? You see, the thing is about Femons, there's a saying, and it's, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. I mean, let's be honest, doesn't matter where you go, all Femons are greedy. So you have to be able to tell them that enough is enough. But in the Western world, you're not allowed to say that, so they just keep on being greedy, and more greedy. You see, what happens is that Femons are just like one amoeba, and they see Femons in another country getting away with things and getting this stuff or whatever, and getting all the laws changed for them. And the Femons don't see how much of a mess they've turned into, but they want that too. Because Femons aren't thinkers at all, they just copy and paste things. Femons see, Femons do. And if they were thinkers, they would analyze it and realize that this doesn't help them in any way, in fact it hinders them. Don't worry honey, I'll tell you what analyze is afterwards. They don't seem to see that the Femons have turned into really disgusting people, obnoxious, loud, and, well, to be frankly, most of them lost the plot, haven't they? But Femons aren't really any different than most humans. They'll get away with what they can get away with. But a lot of Femons in the Western world and European countries now are acting like spoiled little children. And to be honest, it's not really a good look for them. But it also should be a warning signal to a lot of other countries when they see in the Western world, when there's no laws and regulations and decency levels for Femons, they see what they turn the country into. And eventually, if it isn't sorted out, they will destroy that country. All humans everywhere need laws and regulations to a point, and they need to be held accountable from the society. And if not, you get what you see now in the Western world and European countries. And Femons, above all, need restraints, because they won't police themselves like men do. And that's why they're completely out of control. But we all can do our bit, guys. Don't help them out in any way. When they're in a complete mess, the mess that they created themselves, you just have to turn around and tell them, sort it out yourself. You created it. And we're just helping them be self-sufficient, aren't we? Because no matter what they tell you, they never were self-sufficient at all before. Anytime something got a bit difficult, they asked for help. But remember, guys, they don't need a man. And to think many, many years back, femons had doors open for them. Men used to lie their jackets in a puddle so their feet wouldn't get wet. If a femon had a flat tire, there'd be about 9 guys waiting to fix it for her. And she had suitors coming out of her ears. She could watch daytime TV and go for coffee mornings with her girlfriends. And the only thing she had to do was make a meal in the evening. And she could go down to the shops and get herself another dress or a pair of shoes. And the money was all supplied by the man. God damn that patriarchy, keeping the femons down like that. Then, by look of most of femons today, they're in a far better place, aren't they? Ah, the irony is so damn funny.